everybody. So I just finished filming for you this makeup tutorial and you can see it in the minute if you keep watching. I had just posted a video where I asked you to tell me what you would like to see from me, and overwhelmingly the biggest majority of people want to see holiday tutorials. So I wanted to get this out to you as soon as possible. I have plans to do a few more for sure, but I just wanted to get one out there right away. And this is more of a holiday party look. This is obviously a little bit more of a dramatic look. You could make it even more dramatic if you really want to do something bold. You could add a gold pigment to the middle of the lids. You can add winged liner, that kind of thing. You could definitely play it up. If you are not one for such a bold lip, you can also go with a nude lip for this look and it would look very lovely as well. So I wanted to give you a few different options too. If you want to see how to do this makeup tutorial for the holidays, then just keep watching. So I start out by putting tape on my eyes, and I'm going to line it up so that the angle goes from the bottom of my lower lash kind of upwards towards my eyebrow. And I'm going to prime now with Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. You need to work this in really good, otherwise it will kind of do weird things around the edges, but if you work it in really nicely, it'll help your eyeshadow stay all day long. And I'm using the Vida Loca palette from Kat Von D today. This is a beautiful palette. I love using it. The shadows blend really, really nicely together. And the first shade I'm going to use is Strutter. I'm using a Morphe M200 to work that into the crease all the way back and forth using windshield wiper motions. And this is our transition color. You can also put a little bit on the lid as well over top of the eyeshadow primer. The next color I'm going in with is a Vox on the same Morphe M200, and we're just putting it on the outer side of the eye, just on the outer third, and working it into our crease a little bit. You can see that tape is going to give us a nice clean edge at the end. By the way, if you don't want to use tape, you don't have to. You can clean it up at the end using like a cotton pad with some makeup remover on it. We're doing our eyeshadow first so that if we have any fallout afterwards, we can clean it up really easily. So same thing on the other eye, and then I'm going to buff out the edges, and this is just using a clean Morphe M441. We're just going to buff out the edge on either side just so that it's nice and blended. And now we're going in with the shade Love. And I'm using a brush from Still Spot Essentials. It's a 006. This is sold at Walmart. I actually really like this line of brushes. And I'm putting that right in the inner part of the crease on either side. This is a really, really light pink shimmery color, and it just gives us a little bit of a pop. Then we're going in with the color Misfit. This is on the very same still brush that I was using before. This is the kind of look that is going to look absolutely ridiculous until it comes together at the end, but don't worry, it does come together. So I'm working this kind of all over the open space on the lid, not over the brown, just on the clear space, and this is just going to make the other green that we put on top of it pop a little bit more, give it more dimension. And this is in the shade Lemmy. I'm using a Quo eyeshadow definer brush, and I'm putting it all over the lid, including on top of a little bit of that brown shade on the outer V as well. And on the other side, I'm going to do the same thing. You can see the beautiful green color coming out. It's an absolutely beautiful color. I'm just brushing away any fallout there. There's not much fallout with these eyeshadows though. Then I'm going to take that same Morphe M441 and just buff out all the edges again. We want a really nice blended look. We don't want any harsh lines anywhere. Okay, now I'm going in with the shade Black Metal. This is a matte black, and don't worry, it's not as scary as it looks. When you work it in just very lightly with a light hand over top the outer V, you can see I'm blending a lot, going back and forth. It just deepens up that green. It doesn't look like a crazy black edge or anything like that. It just gives us a nice shadow and deepens up that green even further. So I do my eyebrows here off camera using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in Ash Brown and the clear brow gel from Anastasia. And right here I'm using Makeup Forever Step 1 Mattifying Primer. I'm going to do the rest of my face now before I do any eyeshadow on the bottom lid. This mattifying primer is great if you're oily, but you can only use it on the areas that you are oily. Otherwise it will ball up on the rest of your face. So I'm very carefully and strategically placing it around my face in my oily areas. And on the rest of my face, I'm going to use Cover FX Mattifying Primer with Anti-Acne Treatment. This is a really nice primer. It feels really great going on. I'm just working that into the areas that I did not put the other primer. You don't want to layer them or anything like that. This is an unnecessary step for a lot of people, but I like to do this for me. And now I'm using Benefit Erase Paste. This is medium number 2. This is a corrector for my dark under eye circles, and I'm using a BH Cosmetics brush. I have no idea what the name of this brush is. It's just a random brush I own. It's probably some kind of contour brush, but it works this product in really, really well. It's good for cream products. And now I'm mixing my foundation, which is Lancome Tint Miracle in Ivoire 4N, with the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Liquid in Opal. I love doing this. This is a sheer foundation, medium to sheer, but mixing it with this gives it a little bit more sheerness. I don't need a ton of coverage if you do use the foundation that you love, but this foundation mixed with this liquid gives the skin a really, really nice radiance, and I'm kind of going for a glow from within, which is great for the holidays. And I'm working that in with a Real Techniques sponge. This is, in my opinion, completely equal to the Beauty Blender sponge, and it's way, way, way cheaper. And this is Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer in Light, and we're going to use that to cover up the remaining dark circles and highlight the middle of the face. Got a little bit too much on my upper lip there, but not to worry, just work it in. And this is going to bring brightness to the areas we want to bring brightness to, which is the middle of our face and underneath our eyes. Gives us a lifted look. And now I'm using the e.l.f. High Definition Under Eye Setting Powder in Sheer, and I'm actually going to use a lot of it under my eye and leave it there. This is kind of a baking method, although I call this kind of like a light bake because it's not a huge amount of powder that I'm using, but this powder is fantastic. I have not been getting anything in my fine lines when I use this method and this powder. And now I'm just using Rimmel Stay Matte Pressed Powder. This is 005 Silky Beige. I'm using another Still Spot Essentials brush. This is 004. You can buy these at Walmart. And I'm going to use Laura Mercier Matte Radiance Highlight 01. Okay, you guys, don't be scared. I'm going to go a little crazy with this, but I'm putting it on before I put on any contour and blush. Because again, I want to go for that radiance from within look, and you can see it doesn't look really crazy or anything, right? Because this is a matte highlight, and underneath all these other products it's just going to show through just enough. Now say it with me, it smells like chocolate. Okay, this is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer in medium deep, and I'm using this to contour just in the hollows of my cheeks, and I'm working it in really well. Always remember, blend upwards when you are contouring your cheekbones, not downwards. Again, that gives you that lifted look. And I just used, by the way, a Cala Angled Contour Brush 409 to do that. And then I'm wiping off that e.l.f. powder underneath my eyes. Now here is the lovely, lovely Tarte Bling It On blush palette. I'm going to use the shade Dollface with a Morphe E4 brush. I love these blushes, they're amazing. Okay, now we are going to highlight underneath our brow, and we're using the Kat Von D shade in Skulls. I'm using a Morphe M200. Use whatever brush you like to use for shading under your, for highlighting under your brows. It's like a ba-bam highlight. I love this highlight. And then we are using the Morphe E4 pencil brush to do the inner corner or inner tear duct area of our eyes. Again, brings lightness right there where you want it. Okay, here is the Sephora Contour Eye Pencil in 21 Fairy Tale. I love these eyeliners, they stay amazingly long. Okay, watch what I'm doing here. I just learned this technique. Take your sponge to kind of bring down your eyelid a little bit instead of holding it down with your finger so that you're not going to smudge anything you just did on your under eye. I learned that by watching Jeffree Star, and I think it's a genius idea. So simple, but just genius. Okay, and now we are going to use the shade Box, and this is on an e.l.f. smudger brush, and I'm only putting it kind of on the outer half of my under eye. I don't want to bring it all the way in because then it would be too dark. We still want a lot of lightness on that inner part. And now I'm using the shade Strutter on that same Morphe E24 brush, and I'm just blending out that Vox shade. We don't want it to be too harsh. Okay, now we're going to use the Tarte Better Than Sex mascara. You guys, I'm going to make a bunch of really ridiculous faces here. I have the word, I give bad mascara face, okay? See? Look how horrible it is. Yeah, look at this. Pretty bad, right? Oh, awful. Okay, so we're just doing this before we put on false lashes, just so that your lashes blend with the false lashes. You can use really any mascara for this. It doesn't have to be this kind. And you don't have to use false lashes. Just do it if you want to. It just adds a more dramatic look, but a lot of mascaras are going to be perfectly fine with this look too. And I'm using the Ardell Demi Wispies. I have been loving these. I'm still pretty much a beginner. Oh, ba-bam, there they are. See how pretty they are? I'm still pretty much a beginner with eyelashes, but I really like these ones a lot. And I'm using the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash Mascara on my under eyelashes? Okay, let's just call them that for now. I've been loving this mascara. Jaclyn Hill talks about this one, and it's awesome. Some people say it transfers on them. It does not transfer on me at all, and I love it. And for the final touch, we're using Marc Jacobs Kiss Pop lipstick in the shade Headliner. This is a really dramatic lip. Honestly, I should have used lip liner, but I kind of forgot. If you want to do a nude lip, you absolutely can with this look. I just like the way this looked. And here is the final look.